Now tell me about UK.
It's heavenly there. It's green like a Kerala. There's a lot of flower fields.
Building works. I need 6 men, £30 a day.
Hi everyone, this is Sailesh Ram, AsianCultureVulture.com. I'm here with Nathalia Syam, who's the first-time feature director of Footprints on Water. We're here at the UK Asian Film Festival. It's a European premiere at the Kiln in North London. And we're about to meet Nathalia now. Nathalia, welcome. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I'm buzzing. This venue is amazing. And, there's been a really nice turnout as well. So looking forward to the premiere.
How did you come upon this story? I know you're obviously Nathalia Syam, your sister wrote it, but what got you into this subject?
I think for me it's really important that, because this is my debut film as well, I think, it's important you are driven by a story that's very personal to you. So then you're really able to breathe that essence into the story. So, being an immigrant myself, and I moved to the UK when I was 10 with my parents. And we lived in Southall. And as a kid, having watched Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham and all these films, I thought it was going to be sports cars, luxury houses, but it wasn't the case. And that was a bit of a cultural shock for me, because in Kerala, it was very different for us, because, in India, it's a lot more spacious and all. So then that's when I kind of realized there's another world and another life to the glam and shine of London. And ever since I got very curious, I had the story, and Neetha was like, she said to me, what do you think would happen if, somebody goes missing and they're undocumented migrants? What would happen then? So that strikes something upon us. And then we spent years researching, and I'm just so glad that, we took our time and it's finally made, because I think it's something that people shy away from doing. You look at commercial films, they come to the London Eye or Scotland, and I think we have gone into the dark alleys of Birmingham, which is a very underrepresented area in the UK. So I'm very happy to have made it, this way now.
What was the biggest challenge for you as a first-time director?
One, the biggest challenge was COVID, because we shot bang in the middle of COVID. I felt that, having had British film schooling, and I've mostly worked in the British film scene, so everything's planned to the point, and A to B, everything. But when COVID hit, we had 5 different backups, so 10 different backups. So there was a lot of compromises we had to do. But if I had to choose between this film being made and not being made, then the compromises are fine. I think that was the biggest challenge. And I think second would have been a challenge. I thought working with our cast, because there's such stellar cast, would be a challenge, but because they were just all amazing. Adil Hussain, he has my heart. He was just so brilliant that it ended up, instead of a challenge, became a very, a journey of growth for me.
The world premiere was in New York, the New York Indian Film Festival, and the reaction was amazing, wasn't it?
I thought it was very interesting to see, because a lot of people, especially Indians living in the US, could find parallels between their stories. And it kind of hit me yesterday that this is so universal. You go to Australia, you go to New Zealand, you go to Canada, anywhere in the world. And I thought, and there were people, by the end of the film, they were bawling in tears, and there were people who said, okay, a part of that is my brother or my sister. And I thought that was really interesting, because that's something I didn't really expect. So I'm really looking forward to see what UK thinks of it.
You're not scared of doing hard stories? It's a very gritty film in some ways, and difficult emotionally, because people are at their lowest in some points in this film.
There are 4 bedrooms, 17 people.
17 people?
I think for me, it's very important that you represent reality to the truest form as possible. And I feel I feel it's important that you don't exaggerate any scenes. You just show it as it is. And if that's hard hitting, then so be it, because that's, what you see in person. And I think this has been so helpful in us achieving the storyline, because I didn't really shy away from hard hitting truths, but also at the same time, because, in films you see certain scenes are glamorized just so it's entertaining. But with our film, I think if there are moments that audience can really relate to, then I think that makes it worthwhile, isn't it? And a lot of people like that kind of films as well.
And now, what of the future? Have you thought about anything beyond Footprints on Water?
So, I mean, we're developing a couple of things, and we're always working and trying to make things work. So right now we're developing another feature. Neetha's writing again, and but for me right now, I just want Footprints. Hopefully, Footprints is having its release this year, and so I'm just sort of like helping the production with that, and because our producer Mohan Nadar at production headquarters, he has been such a fan of the whole concept from day one. So he's just been like, okay, let's go for festivals first, and then we'll go for the theatrical release, and then we'll go for OTT. And he said, let's not rush anything, because films like this, I think it would be a shame if you rush it and then you lose the reach. Because for me, the reach is very important.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you so much, Sailesh. Lovely questions. Thank you.